So let's start today's class, kinematics lecture 7. Today we are going to study two-dimensional motion and its general equation. So till now whatever we have studied was either a one-dimensional motion or a two-dimensional motion with a constant acceleration. Right? The last topic that we have covered, projectile motion, is an example of two-dimensional motion with constant acceleration. But now we will discuss two-dimensional motion with a variable acceleration. That means if the acceleration varies, then how do we analyze a two-dimensional motion? Here again also we will apply the same method to solve those questions. We will take two-dimensional motion and we will break this motion into two one-dimensional motions. So we'll take the components of each and every vector along two perpendicular directions, and we will then analyze the motion. And after we got the two independent one-dimensional equations, then we will apply the general equation of motion in one dimension that we have already studied. That equation of motion in one dimension are very simple. It is a differential form that you can write always, that acceleration is equal to dv by dt, right? You need to remember all these equations always. These equations are always helpful, right? So for a variable acceleration, you should remember this equations, that ds by dt. What is ds by dt? Can anyone tell me?
Velocity.
Velocity. ds by dt is velocity and dv by dt is acceleration. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can always put a vector sign over that. And if I integrate this, then we will find the displacement and velocity, right? ds equal to vdt. If you integrate this, then you will get the displacement, and if you integrate dv equal to adt, then we can find the velocity, right? Also we can write acceleration is equal to v into dv by ds. These equations are very important to remember, right? So you cannot afford to forget these equations. Always remember these equations. ds by dt equal to v, dv by dt equal to a, and acceleration can also be written as v into dv by ds, right? In the similar way, I can integrate those terms to find the other vectors. Suppose displacement, I can integrate velocity, and for velocity I can integrate the acceleration. But here you can see that we have used all these equations in one dimensions. So all these vectors are either lying in a particular direction or in the just opposite to that particular direction. So plus and minus sign will do our work. We do not, even if we do not put the vector sign, it does not matter in this case. But in two-dimensional motion, you cannot integrate this, right? Can I just integrate this acceleration adt in a two-dimensional motion? No, because you cannot integrate a vector until its direction is a constant, right? Remember this thing. So I cannot integrate this function acceleration or velocity until it's I can differentiate it. Remember that I can differentiate a vector even if its direction is changing, right? We will discuss these in details in later chapters. That suppose that I have a vector, say any vector c vector, right? I have a vector c vector and its direction is c cap, definitely. So can I write that c vector is equal to modulus of c into c cap? So if I try to differentiate that c vector, then remember that while differentiating that c vector, we will apply this concept, that I will first take that mod c as my variable. So I will do it ddt of mod c into c cap, plus I will take mod c is a constant, and then I will do the differentiation of the unit vector. That is also very important thing to understand, how we can differentiate a unit vector, because its magnitude is always 1, but again I can differentiate. Can anyone tell me why if I differentiate a unit vector, actually what I can expect to get? Why I can differentiate a unit vector whose magnitude is always constant? Then even if I differentiate something whose magnitude is always constant, shouldn't we always get a 0?
Yes, sir.
But it is not always 0. Why? Look, whenever you are differentiating a unit vector, that means you are differentiating a direction. Yes or no? And whenever you are differentiating a direction, is actually you are what you are asking for. You are asking for the rate of change of the direction. If some vector has its magnitude and the direction, and both are changing with respect to time, then while differentiating that vector, we can first differentiate its magnitude changing, making its direction constant, and the second term will be keeping its magnitude constant and differentiating its direction. How do we differentiate a direction? That is a very interesting thing to study, that we are not going to study right now, but if time permits we will definitely study this concept, that how we will differentiate a direction. Okay, so let's not talk about this part in detail right now. Let us start our slide. What it says: suppose a particle is moving along this curved path. You can see in your computer screen that this curved path is represented by a white colored path, and this is the trajectory of the particle basically, if you talk about. Why? Because it is in xy plane, so there is no time function, so it is a basically trajectory of the particle that is moving in a two-dimensional xy plane. At some instant, suppose this is the position of the particle, and if our observer is sitting at the origin, right, if our observer analyzing the entire motion from origin, so what will be the position vector at this particular instant? You can say that this is your position vector, which is given as r vector here in this case, right? So this r vector is actually giving you the position vector of the particle. Now you can see that in two-dimensional motion, it is always noted that the position vector changes its direction as well as magnitude always. If you look to the position vector of the particle at different times, you can find that the position vector after some time will be this one, right? This will be the position vector after some time. Its initial position vector was this one. So you can see that the position vector is actually changing its direction as well as magnitude. And what about its velocity at this point? Can you tell me what will be the direction of velocity at that point P? How do I find the direction of velocity?
So by drawing a tangent.
By drawing a tangent at that point P. So you can see that this is the velocity of the particle at this point P. This velocity vector is actually representing the direction only, as it is always tangential to the trajectory where the particle is actually moving, right? But as I have said that all these vectors, position vector as well as velocity vectors, they are changing in direction over time, and you can always say that its acceleration is somewhere here. And you can notice here that its acceleration is not always along the tangent to the path, right? It is very important to understand that whenever you are drawing some trajectory of the particle, and its acceleration can be in any arbitrary direction, right? But its velocity is always along the tangent to the path. Now if I have to actually analyze the entire motion, then what I will do, I have only one option left, that I will take the component of each vector along this x and y axis, right? So if I take component of v along x and y axis, I will say that this is the vx, which is the x component of the velocity. This is the vy, which is the y component of the instantaneous velocity. Similarly, you can see that this is the ax and ay, which are the instantaneous accelerations and in x and y axis. And similarly, you can see what is the component of r vector along x and y axis. You can simply say that if your observer is at origin, then always the r vector will have x component, which is x, and y component, which is y. As the position of the particle, if you see that position of the particle is represented as x comma y, so what is the component of r along x axis? It will be always x, and it will be always y along y axis, as long as your observer is present at the origin, right? But if your observer is present somewhere else, then you cannot always say that, right? So what can we say? That its r vector can be written as xi cap plus yj cap now. V vector can be written as vxi cap plus vyj cap, and a vector can be written as axi cap plus ayj cap. I have taken the vectors and their components. Now can I write all these equations of motion, general equation of motion along x-axis? You can see what I have written. I have written Vx vector is equal to d dx dx by dt along I-axis, along I cap, ax vector dvx dt. Now if I integrate, I can do that as the vectors are along the same line. So I can say that dvx equal to integral of a dt, and at t equal to 0, the initial velocity I have taken at to be vx0. Vx0 is the initial velocity of the particle along x-axis. And after time t, let us assume the velocity of the particle along x-axis is vx. So now I can integrate this function to find the velocity vx as a function of time. Similarly, I can find what is the position coordinate of the particle x as a function of time. What is the x position of the particle as a function of time? That also I can find by using the last equation. Right? I hope, I think that there is no doubt in this slide, because we have already studied this in one-dimensional motion. Okay. There should be these vectors dx by dt, dvx by dt. Okay. So now what will be the equations along x-axis? This is equations of x-axis. Now what will be equation along y-axis? Vy equal to dy by dt, ay equal to dvy by dt. The same equations I have just copied and pasted. Look here, it will be vy and it will be vy0, and here it will be y and it will be y0, right? So the same equations I have written here, but along two different axes. Now can you tell me, how do I get the equation of this trajectory? How do I know the equation of this white colored path that I have showed you initially?
Sir, by relating with respect to time the x and y components.
Yes, I will find x as a function of time here. I will find y as a function of time here. Now I will relate them. I will eliminate time from both the equations, and I will find y as a function of x. That will be the equation of trajectory, right? That is the equation of trajectory. Equation of trajectory. That is also a very general question in two-dimensional motion. As we have seen in projectile motion, the equation of trajectory was a parabolic equation. Now you can see that if I draw a tangent from the point P, you can see that this is the theta. And can you tell me what is the tan theta here? What is tan theta representing here? What is actually tan theta?
Slope of the
tangent. Slope of the tangent. Mathematically, how can I say that? Mathematically, how do I express this tan theta? Do you remember mathematically how do I represent slope? Yes. The slope is nothing but dy by dx. Do you remember this part? Everyone should know that slope of the tangent at any point on a curve or any graph gives you the dy by dx or dy by dt, whatever it may be. Right? How you can say that? If you look to this graph and if you take a very small section like this, what is this length? You can say this length is delta x, and what is this length? This length is delta y. Right? So what is tan theta? This is also the same theta that I am talking here, and this tan theta is delta y by delta x, but here your condition should be delta x should be very small. Yes or no? So do you
Yes, sir.
remember this expression that we have said earlier, that limit delta x tends to 0? What is delta y by delta x?
Tan theta.
Is it dy by dx only?
Hmm.
So that can be also said as tan theta, or what is the slope of the tangent at this point. Okay. Now suppose this is the slope of the tangent at this point. Now let us try to find out the slope in some other way also. Let us talk about the velocity vector. Can you see that this velocity vector lies along the same line as that the tangent line? Yes or no? The velocity vector also lies along the same line as this is the tangent. So if I take the components of this velocity vector along x and y axis, let us assume that this to be my x component of the velocity vector, right? And this to be my y component of the velocity vector. Okay. So now can you tell me what is Vy by Vx?
Tan theta.
Tan theta.
Is the same tan theta that we were talking about. So Vy by Vx is also tan theta. So can I say that dy by dx equal to dy by dx equal to Vy by Vx? Right? So if in your question, suppose it is written as Vy as a function of x and y, suppose Vy is equal to x square y, and suppose Vx is also a function of x and y, suppose Vx equal to y square, like this. I have taken any arbitrary function, right? I have taken any arbitrary function where I can say that a particle is moving along xy plane such that its velocity component along y axis changes with x and y coordinate as Vy equal to x square y, and component of the velocity along x axis changes with y coordinate as Vx equal to y square. And if I now ask you what is the trajectory of the particle, you can always approach in the conventional method that you integrate this Vy, then you can find the y value, you can find the x value, then you find some relation between y and x. That is a different way of approach, but this question can be easily and should be solved in this way, that dy by dx is equal to Vy by Vx, which is x square y by y square. So you can say that dy by dx equal to x square by y. So I can say that y into dy is equal to x square into dx. So if I integrate this function, then I can say that y square by 2 is equal to x square x cube by 3 plus some constant. That should be the equation of the trajectory. Have you understood what I have tried to say here?
Yes, sir.
Clear? And I can find the value of constant from any given value. For example, it can be seen that the particle passes through 1 comma 1. So that means when x equal to 1, y equal to 1, from that expression you can find the value of this constant. So in this way also there we can find the equation of trajectory of the particle. I think it is clear to everyone, this entire slide. If there is any doubt, you can ask me. It is okay. So entire thing is written also here in this slide. To find equation of trajectory, we can eliminate time from the function of y and x, or we can use this equation tan theta equal to dy by dx, that is equal to Vy by Vx. But you should remember that it cannot be said for acceleration. Dy by dx is not equal to ay by ax. Can you tell me why I cannot write that?
Sir, acceleration can have any arbitrary direction,
Yes.
not
That
necessarily along the tangent.
yes, good. That is not necessarily will lie along the tangent always. We will move to solve these questions. Try to solve this question first. Let us try to solve this question. It says that it's x equal to 2t minus 4 and y equal to 2t square. The equation, the functions x and y coordinates are following. So easily I can find the vx and vy just by differentiating these functions with respect to time. What is vx? Equal to dx by dt. If I differentiate this with respect to time, what I will get is only 2.
2.
And what is vy? It is dy by dt.
4t.
It is equal to 4t. Yes. So at a time when it will cross the y-axis, then which coordinate should become 0?
X coordinate.
X coordinate should become 0. If you see that its x coordinate is 0 at this instant, then what will be the time for that instant?
So 2.
2 seconds.
Yes,
If I
sir.
make x equal to 0, then 2t minus 4 is 0. So t is equal to 2 seconds. I will just put the value of 2 seconds in vy and vx. So I will get vx to be the same thing as it is a constant always. And vy is equal to 8. So the answer of the first question should be 2 I cap plus 8 j cap meter per second.
Sir, is the angle cos inverse 2 by root 17?
Root 17.
Yes, I am getting that only.
Let us calculate.
No, sorry, sir. I have done calculation mistake.
Take your time and calculate. Don't hurry. Acceleration of the particle at this instant. How do I find acceleration? If I differentiate the function vx and vy. If I differentiate the function vx, then what I will get? If I differentiate the function vx, what I will get? 0, as vx is a constant. And if I differentiate the function vy, then what I will get?
4.
4. Right? Look, there is a common question of students that if I differentiate the function vx, I am differentiating 2. And if I am differentiating vy, I will again get 0 because the vy is equal to 8. Here vx equal to 2, I will get 0. So why I am not getting 0? The answer is we are not actually differentiating the value. We are here, what we are actually differentiating? The function.
Functions with respect to time.
The function, yes. Function we can differentiate. And here the function is constant, that is why I have got 0. And here the function is 4t, that is why I have got 4. So don't differentiate the value at a particular instant. Differentiate the function. Okay, so ax equal to 0 and ay equal to 4. That means the acceleration of the particle is 4 j cap meter per second square. What is the angle between acceleration vector and displacement vector at that instant?
Nothing but 1 by root 5.
Yes. How do I find that? Look, it is asking about displacement vector. So I will always assume that the particle has started its motion at t equal to 0, right? Because whenever we plot any graph, we always have neglected the negative time, right? Because the observer cannot see past whatever the motion of the particle, right? The observer cannot see the past motion of the particle. The observer will only see from the time instant the where the time will be positive. So at t equal to 0, if I assume the particle started its motion at t equal to 0, can I say that what was the position vector at t equal to 0 of the particle? Initial position vector. Can you tell me what was x coordinate at t equal to 0?
Minus 4.
4 minus 4 I cap plus 0 j cap. So
Logic.
initial vector is equal to minus 4 I cap. And what is at t equal to 2? What is the position vector of the particle, which I can say as final position vector?
8 j cap.
It is
J cap.
8 j cap. Now what is the displacement delta s vector? Do you remember how do I find displacement vector?
RF minus RI.
Good. Rf minus Ri. If you do that, then your vector should come 4 I cap
4 I cap plus 2
plus
4 I
8
cap plus j
plus
cap.
8 cap.
Now, so I have to find the angle between this vector and this acceleration vector. So the angle, if I say theta, then cos theta will be equal to, I will do a dot product, simple dot product. If you remember, this is 32 divided by, what is the modulus of acceleration is 4, and what is the modulus of this thing? 4 root 5. Have you got 2 by root 5 as your cos theta? What is the equation of trajectory? How do I find equation of trajectory? It is given in your question as x as a function of time and y as a function of time, right? So I will put the value of time from the function of x in the function of y. What is time? You can see it is x plus 4 by 2. So can I say y is equal to 2t square? So 2 by 4 into x plus 4 whole square. Right? So y is equal to x plus 4 whole square by 2. That is the function. Can anyone tell me what type of graph it will be? It will be
Parabolic.
a parabolic because it is a quadratic function, as you can see. So it will be a parabolic function, just like the projectile motion. Okay, all right. Equation of trajectory done. Now the fifth question is very interesting. What is the rate of change of speed at this instant? Suppose acceleration is dv by dt. Look how I can write this. dv by dt is acceleration. And what is ddt of mod v? What is this one? It is the rate of change of speed. Rate of change of speed. So I have to find the rate of change of speed, not the acceleration. Acceleration is 4 j cap, but the rate of change of speed is something different. How do I find the rate of change of speed? Look, if I have to find ddt of mod v, can you give me one expression where mod v is used as a function of some other things? Then I can differentiate this expression and I can find ddt of mod v. We know this expression, I am very much sure you all know. But can you tell me any mathematical expression that involves modulus of v or the speed? Yes? Mod v square equal to vx square plus vy square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the equation that I was talking about. Now if I differentiate this equation with respect to time, then what I will get? First write down the equation with respect to time. What is Vx? It is 2, which is a constant. So it is 4 plus Vy square is 16t square. Can you see mod V square equal to 4 plus 16t square?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
can
sir.
you solve this question? If I differentiate this function with respect to time, I will find my answer. Just try to solve it. 2 mod V into 2 mod V into ddt of mod V, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now that is equal to differentiation of 4 will be 0 plus. What will be differentiation of this one?
32.
32t.
I have to find ddt of mod V. Can you tell me what is the value of mod V actually? At this
2 root
instant?
17.
2 root 17.
So it is root under 68. So that is 2 root 17. Right? So 2 to get 16 into 2 divided by mod v, which is 2 root 17. So have you got this one as your answer? Root 16 by 17, 16 by root 17?
Yes, sir.
Now there is another very interesting thing to understand about this thing. Can you just tell me, okay, this question is done. Just try to solve another question that is not given here. What is the angle between the velocity vector and acceleration vector?
Sir, cos inverse 4 by root 17.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Cos inverse 4 by root 17. Yes, sir. Cos inverse 4 by root 17.
I guess everyone have calculated this thing. Again, it is a simple dot product. So if the angle is phi, then I can say cos phi is equal to v dot a divided by mod v mod a. So what is v dot a is simply 4 into 8, 32 divided by mod v is 2 root 17 and mod a is 4. So it is 4 by root 17. Now try to understand this concept that if a particle is moving along this curved path in a two-dimensional motion, right? So at this particular instant, the velocity of the particle is along this line, which is the tangent to the path. So this is the velocity of the particle at this instant. And in which direction its acceleration lies? Suppose this acceleration of the particle lies along this line. And let us assume the angle between acceleration and velocity vector is theta. Now try to understand, if I take the component of acceleration along two particular directions, one is along the velocity vector, another is perpendicular to the velocity vector. One component of acceleration is along the velocity vector a1, another component of the acceleration is perpendicular to the velocity vector. Can you tell me which component of the acceleration is responsible to change the magnitude of the velocity?
A1.
A1?
Along v.
Yes or no?
Along V. A1.
Yes. The component that lies along v can only change the value of v. Now you can see that if I have acceleration 4 and cos theta, can I say that is the A1 value? And that was my answer, 4 into cos theta. Can you check what was the answer of rate of change of speed?
Yes, sir.
16 by root 17? Yes. So why you have got the value? Because it is well understood that the component of the acceleration that comes along the velocity vector actually is responsible to change the magnitude of the velocity vector. And what is magnitude of the velocity vector? It is nothing but the speed, or not? So that is why the rate of change of speed is nothing but the component of acceleration vector along velocity vector, right? You should note it down in your copy as a star mark, that rate of change of speed is nothing but the component of acceleration along velocity vector. Now can anyone tell me then what this other component is doing?
It's a change in direction.
Yes. The other component A2 cannot change the magnitude of the velocity, right? Because it is at perpendicular to the velocity vector. So what it can do? It can only change the direction of velocity, right? That is why the acceleration is not along the same line as velocity. Understood now the entire thing, that it is what is going on inside this motion. That acceleration has two roles to play. One is to change the magnitude of velocity, another is to the change of the direction of velocity. solve this one. Let us try to solve it. This question says a particle starts from origin at t equal to 0 and moves in the xy plane with a constant acceleration alpha in the y direction. Look, this term is saying that the particle has an acceleration only in the y direction. So it does not have any acceleration in x direction, right? Because if it has acceleration along y direction, the component of that acceleration along x-axis will be obviously 0. And the equation of trajectory is given as y equal to kx square. You need to find the vx or the x component of the velocity. If I write that equation of trajectory once, y equal to kx square, and if I differentiate this with respect to time once, what I will get dy by dt is equal to twice kx into dx by dt. Could you differentiate this first term with respect to time in this way? Here I have used chain rule. You can see kx square, so it is 2kx into dx by dt. I think that you are now familiar with this type of differentiations in maths as well as in physics. So dy by dt is equal to 2kx dx by dt. Now what is dy by dt? It is nothing but vy. So that is equal to twice kx, and what is dx by dt? It is vx. What I will do now, I will again differentiate this vy with respect to time. So if I differentiate dvy by dt, I will get it is 2k into x dvx by dt. Here I have taken x to be a constant while differentiating, and in the second part I will make vx to be a constant and I will differentiate x. So 2k into dx by dt into vx. This product rule, I think you also are aware about this rule of differentiation. These are the basic rules of differentiation. What is dvy by dt? It is nothing but ay, which is given in your question as alpha. And what is dvx by dt? Can you tell me what is the value of dvx by dt?
0.
A, which is
0.
As the x component acceleration is 0. So that part is 0 completely. And the second term is 2k into, what is again dx by dt? What is dx by dt? Vx.
Vx.
So it is vx square. Right? From this expression you can find what is vx, root under alpha by 2k. That should be the answer of this question. So let's move to the next question. Can you solve this one? The same equation I will use now. Mod v square is equal to mod vx square plus mod vy square. Look, the beauty of this equation is that this is a purely this equation purely talks about magnitude, right? No direction, nothing is specified in this equation. So I can simply differentiate this equation without any worry. So mod v square is twice mod v into ddt of mod v is equal to twice mod vx into ddt of vx plus twice mod vy into ddt of mod vy. Mod, or look, if you are putting modular sign in case of vx and vy, are they same as acceleration, or they are also the rate of change of speed?
The rate of speed.
these are rate of change of speed, but these are also acceleration, because here the acceleration is along the same direction. Vx and Vy, you are saying that as I am talking about only x-axis motion or only y-axis motion, so all the vectors lie along the same line, x or y. Yes or no? So here in this case, you can say that these are not only the rate of change of speed, but these are also accelerations. Can you see that? Because the acceleration and velocity lie along the same line as Vx and Vy lie. So now I will just put their values, which is given in your question. Mod V is, what is mod V? Can you calculate just from this given expression? 5. Vx is 3, Vy is 4, so mod V is equal to 5. I need to find dvy by dt, dv by dt. And what is Vx? Given 3. What is dvx?
2.
Given
Sir,
2.
dv
dv dt is
Sir,
given, I
that
think.
dv by dt is also given 2.
Yes, 2. It is given. So that is equal to 3 into dvx dt is also 2. And plus Vy is 4. I need to calculate dvy by dt. I think I need to calculate ay. So 10 equal to 6 plus 4 ay. And you can easily find ay to be 1 meter per second square from this expression. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in today's class, we have discussed about two-dimensional motion and its general equations, how to find rate of change of speed, acceleration along different directions. In next class, we will start with circular motion. Again, a very important topic to understand.